right, let's see. I should be live. I don't think there's anyone out there yet. And I realize that I'm going live here literally in the middle of a Sunday. And it's just me. I don't have any guests or anything like that. But this is how it goes. YouTube, the YouTube overlords demand that I go live at some point, and do this thing. So we got to do what the YouTube overlords demand. I figured I'd go live, and we're going to call this How to Say Vanasaur. That's right, How to Say Vanasaur. For all the people out there that don't know how to say it, well, let's see. I could actually throw this up on the screen if I want to. And since it's just me here right now and there's no one with any questions, How to Say Vanasaur. That is what we're doing here live with the folks. If you guys have questions as you come in here, I will answer the questions. I see that there are some people that are coming in and watching, etc. So please feel free to ask any questions that you guys have, or if you feel like it, give us a couple of bucks here, help us out. That's how it goes. I'm going to do this live for about half an hour and bring you guys up to speed with what I have. Lola was asking me exactly what I want to talk about, and I said, Lola, I have no clue. I'm just going to wing it and go live with people, and I'll try to do this more. As I've been saying, YouTube requires this. They require us to go live and also do shorts and stuff like that. So if you guys are seeing that, I know really a lot of the folks who watch StrangerPalooza don't care for the shorts, but YouTube wants the shorts. So if you go live and you do the shorts and do all these other things, then that, I guess, helps your channel grow. And of course, we want the channel to grow. So we've got the first comment in here right now, so I'm going to throw that up there. Dusty Doodle. welcome Dusty Doodle. Thanks for joining us here. And she says, can't find a Beyond Rare Bath in Texas. There you go. That is a good question. So, Beyond Rare Bath and Texas. Here's what I know. There's not a lot of Beyonds out there, period. The Beyond is built by Coachmen, and it's on the Ford Transit chassis. That's what I'm actually in right now. I'm in my Beyond. I guess I could share that with you guys here really quick if I wanted to. I could show that off, and I don't know if can I go, let me see. I don't know if it's going to do it this way anyway. So check that out. See, I've got all my stuff set up here. There's the front. There's me right here, my microphone, all that kind of stuff going on here. So I am in a Beyond. I think that, I don't know, Dusty Doodle, are you trying to find a new or used? That would be my first question. And I guess the follow-up with that, I would say if you're really looking for a Beyond, check with the guys at Sunshine State RV. I know that they're getting them in, but the thing that's going on with that is Ford is not putting out a lot of transits, so there's not a lot of transit vans going to Coachmen in order to build the Beyonds and put them out. They do get them. I think Coachmen probably gets more transit vans than anyone else that's building these Class Bs right now. When I talk to a lot of other people building Class Bs, they're not getting the transits, and that's really the problem. I think there's just a high demand, and I know there have been some temporary closures at the transit factory. So it's tough to get them out there. So I would say either used, because there are some people who are trading them in. So check with whoever is local to you in Texas there and look into getting one used. Or if you're looking for new, check with your local place, or call up Sunshine State RV. They're open Monday to Friday. And if you call those guys up, they can get you on the waiting list. But bear in mind, there's just not a lot of them going out there. Let me see if I could pull up Sunshine State RV. At this moment, there's no money in it for me. I'm not sponsored or paid by Sunshine State RV. If that ever happens, I will let people know, but that's not what's going on. We're friends, and we do things that are, mutually help us both out. So if you just Google Sunshine State RV, you're going to come up with it. I'll show my phone right here. So here's all the info, the place to call, all that, you know, get in touch with those guys, and you could talk to anyone over there. Nick, obviously, I do videos with Nick, but there's a lot of people that work there. So you got Shelly and Austin and all the other folks that work over there. Corey, I think, is a lot of times giving the walkthroughs. And even though you're in Texas, you can buy it, and either you can come out to Florida and pick it up, or they can actually have it delivered to you in Texas. And that, I think, would be the way to go. So I'm not sure if you care about whether or not it's all-wheel drive and what all the different features are, etc. But that would be my advice, Dusty Doodle, in order to find it. So I don't know if anyone else has any other questions or comments here on the channel. Let me know. If not, I'm going to come up with my own stuff to talk to you guys about. Let's see. First of all, please subscribe to the channel. That's an awesome thing to do. And that way, you know, when we put up videos, you'll get some notification at some point about what we're up to here. I'm going to try to see what is...
I think our customers buy from us because...
that I could share with you guys if there's any questions on any of the videos that have gone up. I know there's a lot of questions that come in. I don't, you know, I try to, once we put up the videos, I try to answer questions, and if I see them, I try to answer them. But it does get a little bit crazy for me because I'm running actually 3 YouTube channels all at the same time. So, you know, that's keeps me really, really busy, to say the least. So I don't see any other questions out there or comments or anything like that. And I'm gonna pull up here on my phone, if my phone would work properly. Let's see. I'll change my internet here and try to pull it up. So if you take a look at the channel of how it is right now, we're live. That's what's going on there. The last video that went up was why you should consider Sportsmobile for your as your custom van. That's the last one that went up. That is, I'm actually, believe it or not, I am still putting up videos from when Lola and I were out at the Overland Expo West. We're still putting up videos from that. So that's actually from Overland Expo West. And I was really impressed by Sportsmobile. So I think for a lot of Overlanders out there, Sportsmobile, if you're looking to really customize what you're building, Sportsmobile might be a really good idea for you to go with. I might consider that even myself in the future, just because you can do all the different things you want to do. There are van builders that are custom guys who won't do bathrooms, etc., and they do them. They don't put it in everything, but if you want a bathroom, the toilet's important to you and all that, you know, they do that. So there you go. That's the thing. Okay, let's see. We got a couple of questions coming in here. Let's go with 18 Rabbit. Says, have you ever come across a short C or B plus that has no propane? You know, I think that a short C, that's a good question. A short C or B plus that has no propane. You know what? I really cannot recall coming across one of those that has no propane. It probably does exist out there, and you can probably eliminate it. I would ask you why you don't want the propane. I don't think there's anything wrong with not wanting propane, but I'm a fan of propane. So I would love to know, 18 Rabbit, why you're not a fan of propane. And I know that American Coach, for example, doesn't build with propane. I don't think Storyteller builds with propane. And, you know, there's probably are some other builders out there that don't use propane. I haven't looked at a lot of B pluses. You know what? I wonder if the Regency guys build with propane. I can't remember, but I'm thinking in my mind, I don't remember. I don't think they do build with propane, and they do a B plus or a C, as you would call it. So you might want to check into that. I'll have to do a little bit more research into that. Dan Hates You says, handle some guns. Nope, can't do that live. So there you go. And plus, this is StrangerPalooza, so we don't do that stuff over here. StrangerPalooza is all about the vans. All about the vans, and any question that you guys have about the vans. And Sherry Quinley says yes, what 18 Rabbit says. So there you go. So B plus without propane. I guess that's very important. Depending on how you're going to do it, so, or who the company is that's building it. I would definitely check with the companies. I have a feeling that there are probably some companies out there that can build without that propane if you want a B plus or a C. Ron Watkins says, how much longer until used Class B prices come back down to earth, or will they? Will they? I think, here's what I see. There's definitely a lot more vans coming out, getting on the market for sure. I know that we're still having a tough time getting the transit, anything built on a transit chassis out there, but I do see a lot of vans out there. So I would say that, maybe last year, or even, the end of last year, the beginning of this year, there were less vans that were available, but now there's a lot of vans out there. So I think everything is kind of flattening off, and the prices were up really high, and they are, I think, starting to edge down to what we would call more reasonable out there. The question is, are we going to see really super cheap prices out of the custom vans, right? So the vans built by Coachmen and American Coach and all these other companies. I'm not sure that we're going to get to see what we would call really cheap, because the vans themselves are expensive, and they're getting more expensive, right? And companies are still having a hard time making them. But I think as more vans come on the market and are sitting on the lots, you will see some sales out there, some prices coming down. But is the bubble? I think I've done a video on this that you guys should have seen. It's out there. Is that bubble really going to pop? I'm not sure that it's going to just pop like that, because of the demand that's still out there for the vans, and then the low availability. It's just this weird thing that's happening. So in order for the prices to really, really drop, in my opinion, we're going to have to hit a full-on recession. No one is buying vans for any reason. And then the folks who are selling them are like, hey, we've got to move these vans. Otherwise, we're just sitting on this inventory. And then they'll get desperate enough to start selling them. But if we don't see that, when it comes to the prices, their prices have gone up. Prices on materials, all of that stuff have gone up. So, yeah, I think it's going to come down and it's going to get reasonable, but I don't think we're really going to see super cheap deals out there. So, I don't know, Ron, if that answers your question. That's just really the way that I see it, and I think that vans are just in a luxury market, and you have to remember the people who can afford to buy these vans, a lot of them are retired, and so they've already made plans for whatever's happening, recession or not, they're still going to do what they're doing. So the demand is really the thing. The demand has to come way, way down, and then the supply of what's out there has to go way, way up in order for us to just really see these prices come crashing down. And I'm not sure what you're looking for in your mind, but I know when I started this over a year ago, a friend of mine bought a used van, and he paid $80,000 for it. I'm not sure when we're gonna see. That's really reasonable if you think about it, right? Because the van itself probably costs like 60 grand. So then when you're talking just the van, the chassis, and then when you're talking about the build up, that's the amount of materials and the work that goes into it's way over that. So I don't know. I'm not really sure that we're going to see that unless everything crashes. And if everything crashes, that's going to mean no one is going to be buying vans. If really we come into a hard recession, a depression here, no one's going to buy anything. So then there's going to be a lot of really good sales out there, and the people who have the money, they're going to get some really good deals. So there you go. 18 Rabbit said, so scared of starting a fire. Okay, I understand that. I find the propane to be really useful. What I've used it for the most is when I go someplace that's really cold to heat up the van. I think it works really well. And You know, also we use it here for heating up the hot water if you want to take a hot shower. So other than that, you can shut it off. Propane tanks, I think, are really safe, and there's specific laws around the way they build the tanks and what kind of damage they can take and all that kind of stuff. Can you have fires? Yeah, I think you can have that if you have a propane burner. But in the case of my van, I have an electric, cooktop, and I don't even use that, to be honest. And I just use the propane for heat and for heating the water when it's cold. And, I found that to be useful. In the over a year that I've had it, I've only filled it up once. But when I need it, I feel like it's very useful. And it's way more efficient to heat hot water for a shower or something like that using propane. But I understand that there are folks who are worried about the propane and fires or the dangers of that. There's detectors in the van, by the way, for all of that. So if there's a leak or something, there are detectors in the van. I've never had a leak, but I had my detectors go off when Lola and I spent the night on a cow farm, and we were surrounded by cows. And for some reason, whatever they were giving off triggered the sensors. So there you go. 18 Rabbit, I guess, says as a follow-up to that, so far the Patriot is all I have come across. Yeah, I know American Coach does not use propane, so that would be a way to look. And there is a company that's related to the Rev Group that makes Class Cs. I cannot remember the name of that company right now, but I know I have a video somewhere in here of those vans. I don't know. I cannot remember the name of it, but I do have. We've got a few Class Cs. I think they're Class Cs, but you might call them B plus in here, and that probably doesn't have propane either, so you might want to look into that. Shout out to Richard Monder out there. He's checking in with us from England, so hey Rich, how's it going, man? Good to hear from you. So let's see. And 18 Rabbit responded to Ron Watkins on that question of when prices are going to come down. This is just my opinion, just from what I see and when I talk to the guys out there. These vans, it's costing them more. Let's say you're the manufacturer of the Class B. You're the coach builder. So you're Coachmen, American Coach, or one of these other companies out there that's building them. It's costing you more money to get the van. Okay? It's costing you more for the materials that you're going to do the build. You may have to pay more to your employees that have the skills to do this stuff. So by the end of the day, when that rolls out as a completed Class B van, it's costing more to get out there. And I think that that's going to be the issue with the prices, and the prices coming down to what we consider normal prices. And remember, we've got inflation and all that kind of stuff going on. I see my lovely wife Lola Strange has checked in here. I saw her. She was walking around out here with one of our friends who was visiting. What did she say? According to the video with Ron from American Coach, prices are not coming down so cheap as people think. Yes. You know what? I've seen other people say this. Next year, beginning of next year, when we get to the RV Super Show that happens here in Florida in Tampa, that is the thing to wait for. And I've seen other folks that have YouTube channels talking about vans and RVs in general. They're saying that's the show to wait for, because if at that show we see prices coming way down and lots of discounts, then Now, in the RV market overall, in terms of Class A's, because of the high gas prices and even trailers and all that, there are a lot of deals out there on that. I think that the Class B section is a little bit different. And even though you can put Class Bs into the bucket of RVs, it still functions a little differently. They can make trailers, they just make the trailers, right? And Class A, that's also another story. It's probably very expensive to build. But Class Bs are like a whole different beast. They've got to buy these chassis, and there's high demand for these chassis. I see UPS, I see FedEx, I see Amazon Prime using these same vans. So I think that's one of the things, as well as all the crazy chip issues and all that we've got years before we actually sort all that stuff out. So Anthony Calhoun says, I have a Ford Transit on order for conversion. It has the 31-gallon extended gasoline tank. Is that a mistake, or should I wait for electric vans? That's a great question, actually, Anthony. I've been looking into the electric vans. No, I think you're good. I think you're good. And there's going to be electric vans. There's already an e-Transit. Mercedes has a electric Sprinter. I don't know if I don't think ProMaster has anything they've announced yet. And then we're going to see some other companies that build electric vehicles making vans. The problem is the e-Transit is maybe 110 or 120 mile range, which is great for last mile delivery. So that works great for the FedEx and the UPS and Amazon Prime that I was just discussing. That works great for them. They're not going that far. For us, if you really want to travel, you don't want to stop every 100 miles. I mean, I know they're carrying cargo, but they're probably not gonna. It's not gonna be as heavy as what it is when you actually build out one of these vans to be a Class B, right? So if the range is 110, that's gonna come down with all the weight of everything that you have in here. So I just don't think that's gonna make it. That's not gonna work. We're probably gonna have a bridge van, something that's hybrid and has some kind of motor that's going to kick on and charge back up that battery, because that range needs to get up closer, in my opinion, to around 300 miles. So when we either have a battery that they put in vans that's a 300-mile battery or more, or hybrid, let's say, then we're going to see that come into the Class B RV territory so far as electric vans. I just don't think. I've been looking at the videos of like the Ford F-150 Lightning, for example, and who is it that did that? I think it was TFL Cars or TFL Trucks. They bought one and they put one of those bed campers on it, and they put the lightest one they could put. It didn't even have a bottom on it, right? So they were just using the pickup truck bed as the bottom of that thing, and their mileage went down. So yeah, I don't really think we have what we need there. So I think you're good for a couple of years. I'm happy that I have the Transit. A 31-gallon tank, that's awesome. I think this one is maybe the 25-gallon tank. So there you go. 18 Rabbit says, I was really hoping. Lola Strange. Wait until January. If you're really looking for some deals, let's see what happens in January at the big show. That's really the place. If you see the prices come off then, that's going to be the big indicator. From my point of view, what I'm looking for as an indicator is if I go, let's say, to a place that sells RVs. There's one place that I go to the most often, that's Sunshine State RV. If I go there and they just have vans sitting there and no one's coming in to buy them and there's no activity, then I'm going to go, oh, we're about to see these prices come down. Now, when I go there, they have inventory. However, there's always someone buying the vans, and there's a lot of activity going on. So right now, I'm gonna say everything's gonna go out flat, like in all industries across the board. If you talk to them, they say sales are flat or starting to decline. So we really need to wait a little bit and see what happens here before we say the bubble's popping. So Lola says the price cuts in the rest of the industry has not hit Class B market yet and may not for lots of reasons, again, according to Nick from SSRV in that video. So there you go. Gunmetal Guy USA says, I'm in strange chat for the algorithm. Thanks. So it is. It's so crazy that YouTube... I've got so many videos and when it comes to vans that I want to put up. I still have tons of videos left from Overland, and I've got videos I've done with Nick. I'll show you guys here some stuff that I'm working on. But because I've got to stop and make shorts and then do live and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's taking its time to get the videos out. But we have to do what we have to do for the algorithm. Otherwise, nobody sees us. So there you go. Go small, live large. Shout out to him. Scott's out there. He says, "Howdy, Hank and Lola. How you doing, Scott?" I need to do something with Scott sometime. We need to we need to go live. This is totally impromptu, but I am happy that Scott stopped in here to check on us. And if you don't know about Go Small Live Large, that's a great channel to watch if you want to know about this kind of stuff. And he's one of those channels I was looking at even before I started doing this. So always a good person. And you know what? If I don't know if he's still out there, but I'll be happy to hear what he thinks about the prices and whether or not they're coming down. So there you go. Richard Monder over in jolly old England says propane is only a problem if you get a leak into the van/RV. Yeah, but there's sensors. So by law, if they've got to put sensors in the van for all this kind of stuff. So there are sensors in the van, and if you have that, you will have it go off. And the advice that they give is to get out of the van, shut everything off. There is a main shut off on the outside of the van. So if you have it and it has propane and you don't want to use it, you can actually just keep that shut off. And you can even let it just run down and don't fill it, or empty it and don't fill it. It's probably when you buy it, there's probably something in there because they're testing it, but there's not a lot. So, I haven't seen any problems from the propane at this point, but I understand if people have concerns about that. So let's see what else is going on here. Lola says something, that's the Coachmen Cross Trail Class C. Yeah, Lola, I think there was some different options with that, so I cannot remember if the Coachmen had propane or not. There you go. And Sandra Hart J, I think I'm pronouncing it, or Hart G, tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, says, did Lola or yourself get the message I left at Sunshine State RV last week in reference to someone contacting me pretending to be Lola through your YouTube, saying I had won a 2018 Winnebago? Yeah, you know what? I did see that message, I think. Did you leave that message? Oh, you left it at Sunshine State RV. You know what? I didn't hear that from them, but there's a lot of spam on the channel right now, and that's across YouTube. There's these folks who are going out there on YouTube, lots of different channels, not just vans. Anything that anyone is doing on YouTube that gets any kind of views, these guys are going in there and kind of cloning the channel look. So they're making comments and it makes it look like, I noticed with us, they use the StrangerPalooza logo and they're responding to people and telling people that they've won stuff. And here's the thing, we're not giving anything away. We've got no contest going on any YouTube channel. So if you see that, it is not real. Okay? If I do something like that, I will talk to you guys about it. And, we will establish how we're going to do all those kinds of things. And we will establish a form of communication. But there is nothing like that going on right now. And especially with all these spammers out there doing it, we're not going to do any of that. So anyone who sees any message about winning anything on this channel, that is bogus. Do not fall for that trap. And it's happening to a lot of people. So when we see it, what we're doing is we're going through and reporting that to YouTube, and we're hiding it on the channel and we're removing those people. But there are whoever it is, I believe it's bots out there doing it. There's so many bots out there doing that this is just the situation that we're in. So there you go. If you guys have any more questions here, please let me know. I've got some time. I'm going to go through questions. I'm going to show you guys little sneak peeks of stuff that we're working on, but please feel free to ask the questions. And if you want to you can give us a super chat. I believe that's turned on here. If it's not turned on, let me know, but I do believe that's turned on. And if you're so inclined, thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. And Sandra says, the question they asked me that I didn't answer and the question that I asked them made me know it wasn't you. Thank you. Yeah, we're not doing anything like that. If we do something, we will have a way that we will be able to communicate directly with whoever's part of that. So, look out for that. And I know that it's just happening to a lot of folks out there. I've got a lot of friends that they're doing it. And if I spend all day just getting rid of those things, I'll never be able to answer people or do anything. But if I see it, I do hide it, and there's a lot of them that are out there. So Richard Monder says, all good here. Thank you. Hot weather with some fires going on in the New Forest and Dorset. So, okay, be safe out there, man. It's always good to hear from you. I appreciate that. All Things Judy TV says hi. So, hi, All Things Judy TV. How are you doing? Buzz Anderson says hello. Shout out to Buzz Anderson out there. And Anthony Calhoun says, thank you for taking my question. On a different note, I sent you email. I'm looking forward to your response. Okay, I will look for that and make sure that I respond to it, Anthony. Let's see. And Buzz Anderson says, hi Lola, haven't seen a live from you guys before. I think we did a couple. When we first started this, we were doing them, but it's gotten so crazy that I just haven't taken the time to do it. But, you know, as I said here in the beginning, YouTube is demanding that it be done, so I'm going to try to do it at least once a week. It's not going to be on any kind of schedule, unfortunately, because there's just so much stuff going on, and I really... You know, if there's an opportunity that comes up to do a video or something, I've got to rush out and go do that video. So, you know, we get out there and we make it happen. So I think we just got a super chat. Let's throw that up there. Boom! 18 Rabbit. Thank you. Says he gave us $10. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Peer character bowing down, saying thank you. So that's I can't see this on the system that I'm using, but that's what there's a little dancing thing here for everyone looking on YouTube. So big thanks to 18 Rabbit for that. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And let's see. I know there was a question from Go Small Live Large. Says, is StrangerPalooza attending Hershey RV show in September? Hershey, I don't have plans for that right now. So I think on that particular one we're open and we haven't made any kind of solid plans on that. I believe we're gonna do the Overland East. I think we're gonna go out there and do that. We have cut back on a couple of things here with everything going on, and then also here where we live on our property, we've put a lot of money into like cleaning up the place and fixing things and all that. You know, if you live out in the country, you know you have to do that quite often. So we've been doing that and cutting back a lot of the traveling. But I think there's actually, we were going to go do a ham radio thing this coming weekend, and we canceled that. So next weekend we were going to go out to Hamfest. We're not doing that. And I think the next time we're going to travel is going to be Overland East and maybe some other event, but the Hershey one I've not decided on that yet, so probably that's going to be a no. Let's see. Dan Hates You says, bulk up now, watch the ladies say wow, ask me how. Okay. Alright, that's funny. Yeah, that is funny. Oh, Lola just sent me what the peer thing looks like, so I could probably share that with you guys, actually. Lola just sent it to me here. Let's put it up on the screen so I could play it. There you go. There you go. A peer saying, thank you. Thank you. There it goes. There's the peer. Let's see, I gotta press play again. And thank you. There you go. That's cool. I love those graphics. I can't see them here with everything going on. Anthony Calhoun says, on my upcoming conversion, I'm including a WeBoost cell booster. Is that the best unit, or is there a better one you like? We've been testing one that we found at Overland West, and I think at some point I'll put up something on that. WeBoost does get, I've never tested it, so I really can't say on that one. I would have to get one and test it, but I've heard good things about it in terms of it giving you that little bump that you need. I think it really comes down to what are you trying to do, and from what works for us, we don't use WeBoost or any of those things. We use mobile phones, like my phone right here. That's what we use to get online and do things. And remember that different services work differently in different places that you go to. So some places Verizon works really well, some places AT&T works really well, some places T-Mobile works really well. So what Lola and I do is we've got a T-Mobile, we had a Verizon and AT&T in the past, but I think now we're just using Verizon. So either my phone, her phone, or we've got some other devices here, and that's kind of like what we do, whatever works the best. because I think that a lot of these things out there might give you a little bit of a bump, but not really what everyone's looking for. And the big thing that if you're talking about internet here, what it's going to come down to is, what is that cell tower that you're using for your phone? What cell tower is that? What service is that? And how close are you to it is really going to determine what kind of signal you get and how useful it is to you. So I'm not sure that any of those things do anything, but I am testing something right now that helps you get a better signal. And once I feel like satisfied with what's going on there, I'll probably make a video and put it out. Or you'll probably see it in an accessory video, because at the Overland West we looked at a lot of accessories, but I just need to make the video for that and put it out there, so you guys might see it. But I haven't fully tested it where I would feel confident saying to you it's great or it's terrible. So Carrie Qualter says, can't believe I caught a live, Hank. Just want to say hi. I love watching your videos. They allow me to live vicariously, and your humor makes my heart happy. Much love to you and your wife. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Yes, I try to have fun when I'm doing this, because, you know, yeah, life already has a lot of things that can make you miserable and bring you down. So why not have fun when you're doing, you know, making these videos? And this is actually pretty cool, fun stuff. So I appreciate everyone that looks at the channel and enjoys the videos. And Sandra Hart G says, yes, my last name correctly. Thank you very much. There you go. Let's see here. I think I got this. I got the super chat in, and yeah, Lola was saying that she spent a bunch of time looking at all those things. And Sandra says, yeah, what I told the guy, I didn't want the 2018 Winnebago. Thank you very much, because he wasn't Lola. He got upset. Yes, please do not send money to anyone contacting you through through this channel, unless, like, hey, if you're doing a super chat or something like that that's official with YouTube, absolutely. But yeah, don't fall for any of those tricks, please. It will be really terrible to see that going on. Sandra also says, I'm really glad to see that you're doing a live chat and answering questions. Thanks to Lola. Okay, awesome. So now, I don't know, unless there's some other questions that come up here, because we're over the half an hour, but I'll be glad to answer any other questions that come up. Let me see, what can I share that we've got more shorts that are coming out. You guys can tell me right now whether or not you like the shorts, if you watch the shorts. I personally feel a lot of folks who look at this channel enjoy the longer content, because you get more info out of that. I know some people don't like the banter that we have, or the questions that I ask, or when I interrupt folks. But what I'm trying to do is get your questions answered. And I'm also just trying to see, like, where these folks are at. You know, if you're going to spend this kind of money and you're buying things from people on this level, you really want to see, where are these people at? You know, do they really appreciate my money that I'm going to be giving them? Do they really know what they're building? Stuff like that. And that's how I'm always testing out people and how I do what I'm doing. I'm genuinely interested in these things. I own a van. I plan probably on buying you know, different vans as time goes on here. So that's how I do what I do here. I know I do get I do see the comments and the complaints of people who don't like it, but this is pretty much how I do my thing. That's how I do it here. Okay, so one of the videos that we have coming up here is, there's a lady who bought a van from Sunshine State RV. It's an American coach, and it's the beast, right? 4x4, all that stuff, and it was white. And she wanted to get it like, you know, she wanted to go like full beast mode, or really monster it up and do some really cool stuff. And I did a video on that, before and after, and I could share with you guys. This is what it wound up looking like. She's got it now. Actually, Nick got in touch with Backwoods Outdoor Adventure Mods and got the bumpers. These are aluminum bumper on the front and the back, and they made it all matte black. So that's actually a vinyl wrap that's on there. They put a bunch of lights. There's lights up here, and then there's a, you know, there's a tow stuff on there, and there's the lights and everything. So yeah, that video, I'm gonna put it out sometime soon. I just need to edit it and get that all sorted out and put it out there for you guys. But that is something that I did. What's this picture? Oh yeah, here's a picture of them, of those guys working on it. And let me see. I think I've got some video somewhere of them working on it that I'm gonna roll in to this. And let's see, where is it? I don't know where it is here. I think it came out really, really, really well, and I'm, pretty happy with what they did. And I believe that when she got it, she also is very happy with it. So, in my opinion, that's great news. Oh, you know what? I can't find the video right now of them working on it. But all of that, I think I probably took it off of here and put it on my computer because that's coming out. So all of that stuff you guys will see that. That's coming up. Let's see what other questions we have here. So let's see. Gunmetal Guy USA says, do you guys have plans to test or investigate mobile Starlink? We're actually using Starlink. We live out in the country. We're out in the country here in Florida, in north central part of Florida, and we are using Starlink. And I think it works good enough for most of what we do, but it's not very consistent. So if there's a mobile version that can actually attach to this van, I probably will get it, but it's not out yet. So, what we're seeing right now with people doing it is they're taking the home version and moving it around with their RVs or whatever, and doing stuff with it, because I think Tesla unlocked before they used to lock your address, but they unlocked that and you could change your address in there. So, as I said, I think it works reasonably. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle if you want to know what I feel about it. I think it works well enough to do most things, but for example, I can't use it to go live like this. It's not consistent enough to do that. I hope it gets better, and if they have a small mobile version that I can install on the roof and drive around, yes, I will test it. And Paul G. Marty says, hi Hank, I really enjoy your factory tours. Thank you very much. I'm going to be working on some of those probably towards the end of the year, doing some new ones on that. But thanks a lot. I appreciate that. It's always fun to get out there and see how they build this stuff. So Living and Working Outside the Box says, hey, congratulations on your improvements and upgrades to your van. Looking good. Love the banter on the tours. Thank you. There's got to be some people that love that banter. Let's see. Living Working Outdoors says, I was going to say that looks like a backwoods bumper. Yes, backwoods, and it was awesome. They actually, Nick was asking me like who I thought would be cool to get the stuff from, and I was like, you should try out Backwoods Outdoors, because I met them. They seemed cool, and they make stuff for Ford, for the Transit, and they make stuff for the Sprinter. And he got in touch with them and got that stuff really fast. So they're actually going to do more of that. I think all the Winnebago Revels that Sunshine State RV sells, they're gonna put. But I did a short on that, and somewhere I have pictures that I took of that. So yeah, Backwoods, great stuff. Aluminum, which I think is cool, so that makes it lightweight as well. And they've got very fast deliveries, which I would say versus on my van, I have some stuff from Illumines, and from the time that you buy that thing, you've got a really long wait before you get anything from Illumines. So, I think Backwoods is really good with that. This short is out there if you guys want to see it. This is a Revel that they put the Backwoods bumper on and the lights up top, etc. I might do that with my van here at some point as well. So there is a short that's up with Nick talking about that. So there you go. Abdullah Atik says, hi, thanks for all what you do. I have questions. I'm from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. How can I buy a van and get it to my country, and how can I contact you for advice? I would say if you wanna ask me further questions, reach out to me on social media somewhere, DM me, send a message on there, and then we'll start that conversation. So far as selling to United Arab Emirates, Emirates, if I'm saying it properly, I think that's possible. I think people do buy things and have it shipped out there. You'd have to ask Sunshine State RVs about that. I could ask them the next time I see them and talk to them. I think that's all possible. I'm sure there's going to be some extra charges and things like that involved with that, but I believe that that can all be made to happen. So get in touch with me through like either Facebook or some other thing like that, and we'll start talking about it. And I'll see what I can do from my end. Ultimately, the people to talk to would be the folks at Sunshine State RV, because they would know a lot better on that one than I do. And also, because I don't know if there's any laws or anything, but all the stuff that's involved with that, legally selling that thing, shipping it, etc., they'll be able to help you out with that. Go Small, Live Large he says, great show. I got to go. Bye-bye. Thanks, Hank and Lola. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. We're going to start wrapping up here as well. And Gunmetal Guy says, I was interested in it for my parents. They are countrified as well and use DirecTV. It's wonky on the weather also. Thanks. Yes, when there's bad weather, it's gonna get a little weird on you. That's all up to Starlink, I think, in making it better. But it's better, for if you live out in the country and you don't have what is it, like if you don't have fiber optic and all that, I think it's one of the good things that are out there. So okay, we're at 45 minutes here. I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'm gonna do this again. I'll try to do it once a week and get out to you guys, so just be on the lookout for that. And as I sign off here, it's pronounced Vanasaur. It's pronounced Vanasaur. That's how you say it. If you don't know, that's how you say it. Those are the t-shirts that we sell. If you guys are interested in that, I'll throw that up again. I appreciate any support you guys give the channel. We do have a Patreon. You can support us on there. You can also buy our t-shirts. So if you look in here and below this video, there's something there. There's going to be a scroll under there, and you can get these Vanasaur t-shirts. Vanasaur, that's how you say it. It's like, connoisseur, but Vanasaur. Someone who likes Vans, and we've got different versions of those. So you can support us by just subscribing to the channel, smashing the thumbs ups. You can you can join our Patreon. There's lots of great things you can do. You can buy t-shirts, all that stuff. But I just love and appreciate all the people that are looking at this channel and looking at the videos. And big thanks to everyone out there. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I didn't think we were going to have that much to talk about, and we already burned through 45 minutes. So peace to everyone out there. Gunmetal Guy says, enjoyed this tremendously. Peace. I'll see you guys. And also for guys like Gunmetal Guy and other people out there, I'm going to go live on Who Moved My Freedom here shortly. So if you're into the podcast, you can check that out. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys. Peace. See ya.